Alright, how's it going? Welcome to the Analog Project, and on today's video we're taking a wee look at the Canon FTB QL. Okay, so the Canon FTB QL, the QL stands for Quick Load. It was released in 1971 and it was one of the first cameras by Canon to have the Quick Load system, which basically means instead of having to load the film into a weird spool, you just pop the film in and it automatically does it. And they later put it into like their Canon QL cameras, which we'll take a look at in another video. But anyway, to open it up, you pull this up and it should pop open magically. And this is going to be a test trying to do this with one hand. You take your film, we're using Kodak 400 Tri-X. So basically, all you need to do is pop it in, like so. Drag your film across to there. No spooling, just close it over. Okay, so then you just need to wind on your film a couple of times, fire the shutter off. 1, 2, and 3. You want to take it up to the 0. And that's when you know you're ready for your first shot. So we're ready to go. Alright, so here we are, we're out on Strangford Lough today, a very nice part of Northern Ireland, if I do say so myself. We usually come out here and I like taking pictures of beaches and stuff. So we've loaded the camera up with some Tri-X Kodak 400 film. And you might be wondering why we're using such a high speed film, but it means you can put your shutter speed up nice and high. And you can also put your aperture up nice and high, which is good for sort of landscape shots. I wouldn't say that I usually do landscapes or anything like that. I just sort of like photographing whatever's going on. But yeah, it's a very nice part of the world. It stinks a bit though. So the lens we're going to be using now is a Vivitar 24mm wide angle lens. It's a pretty good lens. It's f2.8. I think you can get it fairly cheap. I think I won it for about £5 on eBay or something like that. The one thing you do have to remember though is now there's quite a high demand for Canon FD lenses when using them for making movies. I mean, we made a video a while back about using FD lenses. That's why I ended up with them. But now there's a bigger, higher demand. You're going to be paying a lot more for them, but they're good for photographing as well. So let's take a few shots. So the meter inside the FTB is a pretty simple spot meter, which basically means wherever you point the middle of the camera, it's going to be metering for there. So if we're taking a landscape shot, for example, we're aiming up and we're sort of getting a third of the shot. We'll take a shot here to show you what that looks like. And you can kind of see that we're aiming mostly at the sky in that shot. But to actually meter for what we want on the ground, you need to point the meter at the ground first, then line up your aperture, then recompose, and we're just focusing to infinity. So that way we can get the proper shot that we need and get it nicely exposed. So to reload your film back into the canister, all you need to do is click this little button here boom, that despools the reel, and then we're coming back to here. Now you don't want to pop this open yet, you just want to do this and pop it up. Don't pop it open or you'll expose the whole roll. And we just do a very nice, actually you do want it down. Keep it down. That's to take the roll out. Then you just spend about 4 years of your life rewinding the film. Sort of modern film cameras like the Canon like 1000F and stuff like that will have automatic rewinding, but you gotta do this the old-fashioned way. This does not make it practical for speed shooting. Of course, you only have, there you go, you'll feel it latch off. Then you want to pull that up. That releases this reel, pop. Ah! And there we go. There is our roll of 400 Kodak Tri-X. My fingers are burning off. So yeah, that's the Canon FTB QL. This was actually the first film camera I've got, and I've probably had it for nearly a year now. And it's a great camera to think about if you're trying to get into sort of basic 35mm SLR film cameras. It's very familiar to using like a DSLR. I mean, it's manual focus, but other than that, it's, you know, it feels fairly similar. It works fairly similarly. You get pretty similar images. Of course, the main benefit to using 35mm is that it's full frame. So you might be looking at bigger DSLRs like the 5D or something, and they're, I don't know, they're like $3,000 or something stupid, but you can pick up like a film camera like this and have a full frame camera and get, you know, your proper lens size. So I mean, this is a 24mm and there's no crop, so it's literally 24. But say if you're using like a crop sensor DSLR camera, the widest you can maybe get easily is maybe like 50 or something like that with the crop on sort of wide angle lenses. But yeah, it's a pretty simple camera to use. There's no automatic functions. There's no AV mode or anything like that. The later cameras like the Canon AE1 and AV and stuff like that have all automatic things. This is fairly basic, just you can work it with your shutter and everything. But yeah, it's a nice camera. So thanks very much for watching this week's video. If you're interested in seeing more, obviously like and subscribe. We'll be doing more sort of vintage sort of camera reviews and things like that. So yeah, we'll see you next time. I've been Ryan. Thanks very much. Goodbye.